My name is Daniel Bryan. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. I joined in 1998 and served until 2003. I earned the rank of Sergeant E5. So being a veteran has multiple meanings. A lot of them have to do with feelings. So the mix of emotions when you finally decide to join is excitement. You don't know what you're getting into. The feeling is something being new, being a part of something bigger than you. Then you get to the part where you go to training and you think, what the heck did I do? Well, what am I getting into? And then you get into the fleet, you get into your job, and you realize that there are many like-minded people like you that want to be part of something bigger, that want to make a difference in the world, and you truly make some of the best relationships you'll ever have in your life. Some of the best friends, some of the most hated friends. Don't get me wrong, there's a spectrum of both. It's one of the most diverse jobs in the world. So you get truly an education on what it's like to be a part of the world within an organization like the military. Once you get out and you become a veteran, you're no longer active duty. Your oath to the Constitution to uphold what this country stands for still stands. It's a lifetime oath. You don't just stop believing in what you swore that oath to because you got out. So you translate that into your life, your friends, your community, your church, whatever you're a part of should stem around what's important to you, and that's honoring the Constitution, honoring what our country believes in, and spreading that in a positive way with your family, with your community. It gives you that sense of pride to know you were part of that. It gives you, it makes you more in tune with your community, with trying to help people, and you just don't stop wanting to help people. So when you consider joining the military, it's not just a small commitment to help you go to college. It's not a small commitment to help you get to a better place financially. It's a lifelong commitment. It's something that you'll never forget. And 20 years after you get out of the service, whether you stay in for one tour or you retire, you'll still call the people that you served with in that first tour, and it's like you never left off. You guys pick up where you left off, you have fun. You don't build those friendships when you're growing up. You develop those friendships when you know that your life is on the line and your buddy's life is on the line. There's a strength in that type of friendship that'll never go away. The other thing is, veterans are a huge part of our community. As of right now, there are probably close to 20 million veterans in this country, which means if you look to your left and to your right and you have a conversation with those people, they're either related to or know a veteran. That's a pretty big group, 20 million people. It's bigger than any city in this country. So everybody has a tie to a veteran. And just saying thank you is a huge, huge gift. So we don't do it for the thanks. We don't do it for the recognition. However, it never hurts to say thank you. And when you see some of these old fellas, World War II veterans, Korean War veterans, Vietnam veterans, when you say thank you, that might be the only thing that brightens their day. So please, just think of it.
World War I, known as the Great War, officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919, in the Palace of Versailles outside the town of Versailles, France. However, the fighting ceased 7 months earlier when an armistice or temporary cessation of hostilities between the Allied nations and Germany went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11, 1918 is generally regarded as the end of the war to end all wars.
In November 1919, President Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day with the following words. To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service, and with gratitude for victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us, and because of the opportunity it has given America to show sympathy with peace and justice in the Council of the Nations.
An act approved May 13th, 1938, made the 11th of November in each year a legal holiday, a day to be dedicated to the cause of world peace and to be thereafter celebrated and known as Armistice Day. Armistice Day was primarily a day to set aside and honor veterans of World War I, but in 1954, after World War II had required the greatest mobilization of soldiers, sailors, marine, and airmen in the nation's army history, after American forces had fought aggression in Korea, the 83rd Congress, at the urging of veterans service organizations, amended the Act of 1938 by striking out the word armistice and inserting in its place the word veterans. With the approval of this legislation on June 1st, 1954, November 11th became a day to honor American veterans of all wars. The original concept of the celebration was a day observed with parades and public meetings and a brief suspension of business beginning at 11 a.m. The United States Congress official recognized the end of World War I when it passed a concurrent resolution June 4th, 1926.
Later that same year, on October 8th, President Dwight D. Eisenhower issued the first Veterans Day Proclamation, which stated, "In order to ensure proper and widespread observance of this anniversary, all veterans organizations, and the entire citizenry will wish to join hands in the common purpose. Toward the end, I am designating the Administrator of Veterans Affairs as Chairman of Veterans Day National Committee, which shall include such other persons as the Chairman may select, and which will coordinate at the national level necessary planning for the observance. I am also requesting the heads of all departments and agencies of the executive branch of the government to assist the National Committee in every way possible."
The Uniform Holiday Bill was signed on June 28, 1968, and was intended to ensure 3-day weekends for federal employees by celebrating 4 national holidays on Mondays: Washington's birthday, Memorial Day, Columbus Day, and Veterans Day. It was thought that these extended weekends could encourage travel, recreational, and cultural activities and stimulate greater industrial and commercial production. Many states did not agree with this decision and continued to celebrate the holidays on their original dates.
The first Veterans Day under the new law was observed with much confusion on October 25, 1971. It was quite apparent that the commemoration of this day was a matter of historical and patriotic significance to a great number of our citizens, and on September 20th, 1975, President Gerald R. Ford signed Public Law 9497, which returned the annual observance of Veterans Day to its original date, November 11th, beginning in 1978. This action supported the desires of the overwhelming majority of the state legislators, all major veteran services organizations, and the American people.
Veterans Day continues to be observed on November 11th, regardless of what day of the week on which it falls. The restoration of the observance of Veterans Day to November 11th not only preserves the historical significance of the day, but helps focus attention on the important purpose of Veterans Day, a celebration to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good.
The My name is Nick Craner, and I'm a Major in the United States Army, and I'm excited to share with you what Veterans Day means to me. Before I say anything further, I'd like to thank the amazing men and women of our nation who have selflessly served no matter how they were called to service. If you're related to anyone who has served, please thank them for me. Next, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my military experience. I joined the Army in 2006 as an infantryman in the Ohio Army National Guard, and then completed college at The Ohio State University and commissioned as a second lieutenant infantry officer. And now I am a military intelligence officer in the Army. My job right now is at a combat aviation brigade, meaning I work with assault helicopters, and it's my responsibility to find, fix, and support finishing the enemy. I've been stationed in Fort Benning, Georgia, Fort Bliss, Texas, Fort Huachuca, Arizona, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington State. And I'm currently stationed at and coming to you from Fort Carson, Colorado. I've deployed to Afghanistan twice and Iraq once, and I've also spent time in South Korea. Through it all, I'm still very much one of you. I'm a Falcon. I have been since I went to Pleasantville Elementary in 4th grade. My parents were both teachers at Fairfield Union, and a lot of who I am and what I represent started with what I learned from the teachers and friends I had there. Then I met my wife Jenna while I was in school at Ohio State, and she, quite possibly the most motivational person I've ever met, pushed me to becoming an Army officer. Because of the support Jenna and our son, who's in 3rd grade, give me, I get to keep working with soldiers and serving our nation. Joining the military is an emotional experience and has to start somewhere. For me, it started when I was in 4th grade in Pleasantville at a Veterans Day assembly. At that assembly, my grandpa Craner came, and at the beginning of the assembly, the speaker asked for all military veterans to stand up. I remember my grandpa standing up that day because he fought in World War II. In fact, both of my grandpas served in the Navy in World War II. Then, when I was in 7th grade, I read Ragged Old Flag at a Veterans Day assembly, a song written by Johnny Cash. When I was in 10th grade, I remember I was sitting in French class, and that was how I found out about 9/11. So many things stopped that day, but at Fairfield Union, our football coach decided to have practice. And that was a decision I'm thankful for and that I'll never forget. Even though those experiences in high school, I never intended on joining the military. I graduated from Fairfield Union in 2004 and I set off for college. I had no idea what I wanted to do besides have the opportunity to see the world. After my second year in college, I had a very serious talk with my parents and an Army recruiter. My thinking was that I had an able body and I wanted to serve the country. You see, it's the memories and experiences you have as a young person that mold you into the person you're going to be. I could have never forecasted the experiences that I would have had at that time. I've been at an outpost in the middle of Kandahar province, Afghanistan, middle of nowhere. I've been with the 82nd Airborne as we seized a key city, Mosul, in Iraq to push back ISIS. I was a member of 1st Special Forces Group while we pushed out ISIS from Nangarhar province back south into Pakistan. This was all able to be done because the men and women I deployed with became a team and we were a family. We had to depend on each other to get the job done, each and every time. The faces were different each time, but the way to accomplish the mission was always similar. On this Veterans Day, I ask you to take a moment to think about what experiences you've had. Are there experiences you've had that could lead you to some kind of service? I asked you to look out for the little guy, the ones that can't defend themselves, and I ask for you to be the good person and look out for those around you. Last, find your team. This team can be your family, your friends, a sports team, any kind of club, anything that helps make you as a person complete. When you do, realize how it helps you. On this subject, I'm going to close with a quote from Mark Twain. He said, "Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you too can become great." This especially holds true to those I've worked with in the military. When we build upon our beliefs and our love for each other, we can win the fight. Thanks, everyone. Have a happy Veterans Day. Thank a veteran, and go Falcons.